I think we'll see a really good, solid performance from Anthony Joshua. He must want it. He must still want it for him to still be chasing it. Franklin's a good fighter. Put up a real good. You know, he lost to Dillian Whyte, but a lot of people thought he might have won. It wasn't the best Whyte that night, but Franklin's, you know, he's a good, solid fighter. I think he's in better shape from what I've heard. Literally 5 minutes ago for another interview. Better shape for this fight. So, but I think Joshua hits him. Joshua hurts him. I think Joshua gets rid of him.
Yeah, I think Jermaine Franklin is. I think he showed how good he was against Dillian Whyte. You know, a lot of people said it was a super close fight, and to go out there and blast him out in a couple of rounds, I think it'll be a good statement to the world. Like, I'm back. Look, you know, he went 12 rounds with Dillian Whyte and in a close fight, I just blasted him out in 1 or 2 rounds. That's what a world champion, future world champion, would do.
I'm hoping he just wipes the floor with Jermaine Franklin within 6 rounds and makes a statement, because just boxing through points win against someone who's tailor-made for you isn't good enough for someone like Anthony Joshua. He's got to make a statement to get people interested again, because the nature of the people is that you lose a couple of fights, you think people are finished, you go and watch someone else and like, oh, he's lost 3 times, AJ's been knocked out, he's got no chin, all this, that. So he's going to go out and have to prove himself and get the entertainment element back. Couldn't do that against Usyk. No one would be able to go in and look entertaining against Usyk and blast and land and big clean shots. He doesn't get it enough. He's not there to be it. This fella's there to be it, and that's when people are going to see, you know, the sweat bouncing off the fella's head, and, you know, blood and gore, and what boxing fight fans like, and what they were used to seeing with Anthony Joshua.
We'd love to see a demolition job. What I want to see is a different aura around him. I want to see him confident. I want to see him smiling. I want to see him happy. I want him to feel like, even though there's a lot of pressure on him, I want him to feel like there's no pressure on him. I think there will. You can see demolition job there, but I was there at Jermaine Franklin's last fight. I fought little guys that are good boxers with fast hands and throw a lot of shots. It's not smooth sailing, do you know what I mean? It's up for AJ to go in there and work on what he's worked on in camp and be the destructive Anthony Joshua with it, which we've seen once upon a time. But even better, he's going to be better than that now, because I believe he's more polished, more experienced. Just like I say, new aura and a happy and dangerous man.
Great fight. Don't think it's going to go more than 4 or 5 rounds. I feel like when you put your combinations together with Franklin, he falls apart. I've seen it in the gym with Daniel. He's great when you do pot shots and stay on the singles, but when you start putting your combinations together and back him up, yeah, he starts to wilt a little bit. He's very tough, but that fight against Dillian Whyte flattered him. I don't think it was the best Dillian Whyte, and I think AJ will be far too strong and far too sharp for him.
Well, I think he's going to get a great performance. He's going to get a great win, great knockout, and then ready for, you know, for a big fight. Just like we talked about before I left Saudi. You know, give him. You know, I said 2 or 3. It's, you know, the belts, sooner than later, the belts are going to be vacant.
It's a very interesting fight, and I just want to be a fan to watch it. I know Anthony Joshua has a new trainer, and Derek James, a friend of mine who I think highly of as a trainer, and you can obviously know why, because of the work he's been doing over the years. And also, I'm very good friends with Jesse Addison, who's the trainer. Jesse Addison, Lorenzo Reynolds, who's actually training, Jermaine for his fight. And we were in training camp together last time with Jermaine, and he trained hard. And to me, honestly, he never looked the best in the gym. He never looked the best in the gym, but I know that Lorenzo and Jesse training him hard. But he never looked good to me in the gym really at all. But when he went out there and fought, he was a different person. I'd rather have a fighter that looks like shit in the gym and go out there on the night of the fight and then shine, versus somebody who's looking good in the gym and you take him out to go do his thing and he don't do nothing. So I'm hoping that Jermaine is training like shit again, and then he'll go out there with a spectacular, be motivated and to be, give it his best shot like he did last time. and to learn from the mistakes that he made last time to possibly prevail him in this fight here.
Confidence is really important, especially in the heavyweight scene. But I think he'll stop Frampton, and I just hope that Derek James has kind of drilled it into him that he's a wrecking machine, and that's what he needs to get back to doing. Not that fancy dance, nice little step backs and looking nice. He needs to go in and be a wrecking ball. And I think he's been criticised a little bit from the Ruiz fight about being a little bit gun shy, and that might be the case, but that's all about confidence, isn't it? And once he gets his confidence back, I think that he will beat Franklin. I think he'll stop Franklin. And then I think from that point on, we're going to see an improved AJ.
I'd love him to make a statement. I just want to see him win. I think that what's underrated about Anthony Joshua is his speed and his power and his combination punching. And a lot of that will be down to Derek James to make sure that he has the confidence and belief and tank to let those fly. If he does that, it's going to be a difficult night for Jermaine Franklin, but he's shown how tough he is. And he was always in it till the 12th round, and I think he'll be fitter in this fight as well. So, Dillian Whyte did a good job against him. It was a tough fight, but I feel like he's going to raise his game against AJ. I believe AJ will knock him out, but I don't think it's going to be easy. And if you're watching, you know that it's a hungry heavyweight that's not going to lay down and is going to give AJ everything he can.
Jermaine Franklin will be a good fight. AJ wins it. How he wins it? Probably by a knock in the later rounds.
New trainer, new AJ, probably a new mindset. You know what he's like. He always swaps and changes, but I think it'll be a decent competitive fight. Franklin, that's his name, isn't it? I'm saying it right here. Franklin against Dillian Whyte, he actually did decent. I thought he could have nicked it, if I'm being honest. So I know AJ will want to go out there, get the knockout, which I think he will, and then go on for hopefully more titles.
This is a smart move because it'll give us the opportunity to see if AJ's still the type of fighter he was, or what we all sort of fell in love with and grew to admire and respect. Because I believe this fight is going to show us he's still that aggressive, strong, explosive puncher. I think he's going to come out and do a real number on him. I really do.
I think Jermaine is a good fighter. I don't know how dedicated he's been in his career, but I think that he's a good fighter. He has talent, but I think he's going to be in deep with Joshua. And Joshua, big, strong, powerful guy. And if he can have some of his confidence back, I think that Joshua will probably win by a knockout.
Does he need anyone else? It's a comeback fight. He needs to feel the ring. He needs to feel the punch, to feel the anxiety of what's of the atmosphere. He needs to feel the adrenaline, walk into the ring, and he needs to feel the spirit of victory. So that's what might bring him back, and that's why it's a perfect opponent for the comeback fight. Maybe marketing-wise, it's not the biggest thing to happen, but without small fights, you cannot build a big fight. So I support him in this upcoming fight.
I think that Jermaine needs to be aggressive and start off, and when Joshua is going to have his spurs of explosion, Jermaine needs to come right back. There's extreme amount of similarities between Jermaine and between Ruiz. They're both similar size. Jermaine is a little bit bigger, fast hands, most important, good chin, and the ability and desire to go through fire and come back. And I believe that that's going to be the key, is taking AJ's best shot and coming back with his own combinations. And that's what's going to test AJ and see if he still got it.
I don't think it's rocket science with AJ. It's not about being reckless. It's about having that fire, that aggression, that real spite that we've seen before from AJ. I think that's all that's been missing slightly. We see it a little bit more in the second Usyk fight, but not enough. I just think there's more to come from AJ in that department, and I think it's about the new guys extracting that, and they'll be important in the corner as well. To get that extra % out of AJ, and if he can find it, which I'm sure he can, because deep down he's a fighter. That he's born to fight. I don't think it'd be long before we see the second coming of AJ, if you like.